Yeah, it seems like, would you say that the general concept of an early extension is not known well? Because it seems like someone might look at that and call it, I've always been classified as a person that has an early extension. And it's,
Early extension means you're standing up early on. It could happen during the backswing, or it could also happen in the downswing. So when the early extension occurs, then usually your intention is to pull the arms down quite a bit. In order to pull the arms down, it's easier if you have with the higher body position, you pull it down. But if in your image, you're mainly turning your body about the spine axis, then you don't have that. But if you go higher and then try to pull it down, always you tend to stand up.
Dr. Kwon, do people who have early extension a lot of time usually have very flat shoulders up at the top? Yeah.
Naturally, because with the early extension, if your upper body goes more upright, then you will have flat shoulders, and then also the arms go high here. So your body and arms are not moving in a harmonious way, but they have their own thoughts. So you want to start the downswing by pulling the arms and club. But always right before that you will have early extension.
All right, I wanted to show something to the group. You can come a little closer to me, and then get your thoughts about it, Dr. Kwon. All right, something I wanted to talk about in a down the line view, and get your thoughts, Dr. Kwon, before we really start, is that this is our golfer here, and the club at the top is like this, right? And club face is whatever it is, and then the center of mass of the club is here. Okay?
So it's
at the very top, and we're hitting the ball that way. Yep, so they're here, and knees and feet, they're there, and arms are across. One thing that a lot of golf coaches talk about is that every good player, wherever they have the club at the top, so let's say let's go really flat here. So let's say a guy who's a member of this club we're at today, John Rahm, he's here, pretty flat at the top. And then a guy like this over here, let's go really extreme, like Shane Lowry, is like this. He's really across. And then Adam Scott in the center. They say that every good player, from wherever they are at the very top, the club center of mass moves in this direction. So John Rahm, even though he's very flat, he gets it going this way. Adam Scott gets it going this way, obviously, and Shane Lowry definitely has to get it going that way. But it's all moving in that direction. A lot of regular weekend golfers get it moving this way, okay? And so, Dr. Kwon, my question for you is that now you could go to the top and with your wrists force it this way, like that, to get it started on the kind of the shallowing, they call it, or the pro side. But if I start changing my direction correctly, kind of that winds up the system. And the reason all the pros lay it down this way is because they're moving their body a certain way. Have you found that, or what do you think about how the club at the top shallows the way a pro does it?
Again, it's a matter of a shape of the swing, but so then when you have this pattern here, the club head is staying close to the swing plane. So on the way down, you don't have to adjust it that much. But this one, the club head is staying way away from the swing plane. This is a bit below the swing plane, right? It's when we always use the arms to bring the club down, okay? Or by just moving the body early on, and then you can drop it. But when you try to bring this up, it's always coming from the body motion. On the way down, you cannot really lift your arms up. So if you want to do something, that it will be coming from the body, if you have to move up, right? When this is way away from the swing plane, then somehow you have to compensate this. So typically, by turning the body early, then you have this over the top head. Okay. So when you are here, you have to quickly adjust this by turning the body and then bring the club down. So you will open the chest early, and so you have that consequences. If the club goes too low from the beginning, then eventually you have to lift it up. So oftentimes what you see is that when you drop early here quite a bit, then your follow through will be really high up here. They have big follow through motion. So always where you start from has the consequences. And then obviously the simplest case is keep the club head as close to the swing plane as possible, so you don't have to do any
Big adjustments.
adjustments or forceful or adjustments that requires a lot of effort. So that's why the continuous motion back and forth will help.
So when you do the continuous motion back and forth, you'll naturally see this little lay down.
A little bit of
Just a little
shallowing
bit.
is
Yeah.
natural.
One thing that I got from watching some of the videos was if you take the kettlebell and you do the rhythm stuff or the flow stuff, where you're only going about right here, that momentum that you create after you do continuously will allow the club to shallow, will allow the club to move in the proper plane, and you don't really need to do a whole lot.
So what happens is that if you look at the anatomy of the body, if you start from here, here's the initial club alignment, and then you can go up to this point without adjusting anything. Okay, you can turn this way, but from this point on, you need some effort. You cannot continue this because the anatomical limitation. That what happens is the arms go slightly higher. So with that, you create additional range of motion here. Then if you reverse this motion naturally, when you start the downswing, the arms will come down.
So you don't need shallow.
So it's not intentional shallow.
Yeah.
Okay. If your arms move down, naturally it will come closer to the swing plane. So you have a natural shallowing here. So all you need to do is just using as Lee mentioned, using the momentum. Let it go up and then continue this motion. Automatically you will have this natural shallowing.
Dr. Kwon, if you try to start your downswing when your pressure is still on this right side, there will be no natural shallowing, right? If I'm at the top and then I try to start my downswing as I'm still shifting.
Well, actually, if you just stay on this side, actually it's easier to shallow. Actually, you are dropping the arms down here
mechanically with your
hand.
hands. Right.
So that's why I don't know whether this is a proper to imagine name, but in this particular swing model, you see this type of motion, right?
Okay.
When this actually happens, you have a lot of weight on the right side. Outward swing pit, severe outward swing pit. And then when even the instructors who are promoting this in the actual swing go here and they try to put it in higher. So the actual swing and this is very different because you cannot do it. So as I said, from here to here, it's not a problem moving the kettlebell without altering the body posture that much because the anatomy allows it. You can go about here, no problem. A little bit of a leg action, you will be able to generate this much. But if you want to go a bit higher, then you have to start lifting the arm a bit higher so that you can go more, right? But most of the people, what they do is just to flex the elbow to bring this in. So everybody understands by instinct that there's an anatomical limitation. But when you go beyond that point, what you do depends on how you move your body. Some people will just use the arms and flex the arm and they try to bring it more. In my case, using the momentum, lift the arm a little bit, let it go here. Then I can generate good motion here instead of.
So Dr. Kwon, if you don't build up enough momentum and you're at this point, then you got to start using effort to get it up. But if the momentum has slung it to the top, then it's natural.
So that's why you have to start the action with the body action, the body-driven action. When you have enough momentum, then simply let it go and then raise the arms a little bit higher. Then you'll be in this position. On the way down, naturally the arms drop first and then throw. But when you lift the arm up here with the arms here, then you will also start downswing with the arm action. That's why you are killing your low body action.
All right, Dr. Kwon, we're working with Rob here at the Be Better Golf School. And over here, we were doing air swings, kind of like we see in the lab in Texas, right? In this area, we were doing air swings earlier. So the question a lot of people have is how do you go from air swings to actually hitting the golf ball?
So that's what we are doing right now. So earlier, Rob was practicing stage 3. So he had the transition from stage 1 to stage 3. Now he's using both the stage 3 and his regular swing. So using stage 3 as his pre-shot routine, but he's developing the rhythm, so internal rhythm here, and then try to use it in the regular swing.
And I see a good stage 3. Start again for us, Rob. Sorry to interrupt you.
So internally he's saying oop, PJ sing, and then the rear swing. So he's introducing
trigger.
this trigger motion,
Yeah.
and they maintaining the same rhythm.
Nice.
Yes.
Good patience. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're interested in seeing all the raw footage from the most recent 4 days of filming with Dr. Kwon during 2 different Be Better Golf schools, including some stuff with Tour Pro Jared Sawada, who just qualified for the second stage of Q School, and a lot of interesting stuff, go to bebettergolf.net/premium. Thanks for watching, everybody. More stuff coming out from the school. Also, I'm filming with another Tour Pro that you'll hear about soon, later today, doing a short game thing, which should be really cool. So be subscribed and you'll see all that. Bye.
But the motion is too slow. Backswing is too slow.
I was just practicing.
Yep. So now active trigger and then fast the backswing. Swing around, yes. Okay, approach to the ball. Okay.
That's nice doing.
Here, but then close to the body here.
The reason why I emphasize this is because with this you'll be able to turn this way. But the main issue that I see nowadays is you go in and then try to throw out.
They go in deep here and then go that way.
Yeah. So in order to solve this problem, I ask golfers to bring the hands closer to the body.